right, you guys, that was crazy. I didn't physically go, although I know few people that were there, and I've had discussions with them, of course, just asking them about it. And honestly, I would expect them to say the things they did, like it was the best concert they've ever been to in their lives. The spiritual charge of it, the 80,000 people felt like they created this vessel outside of the matrix. They were all one, just incredibly liberating and redemptive and spiritually charged. And here are just some of my honest thoughts about it. We could talk about the stage design, Ye's inspiration. I'm sure Bianca helped him a lot with that as well. And the overall team, this is $1 million production, and it's not even about the money because he's making millions of dollars from these concerts. And so he's able to splurge just to create and bring that beauty to the people, to the masses for a low cost. This is the kind of thing he's been talking about for I don't know, 20 years, to no longer have luxury be gate kept, and to reveal the beauty, bring the beauty back to the world, back to the people, to restore that connection that we have with the earth, with each other, and with ourselves. Most importantly, we are at war with ourselves. Jesus, what? And it's just incredible. Like with this last concert, night number two, it keeps improving. Like a beta, we gonna stay improving. It's the light that's gonna illuminate the way we moving. So it's he just keeps elevating not only the consciousness, he's elevating the standard for what it means to be an artist who's pushing the limits, who's rattling the cages, and he could still come back and on full display show the world why he is probably the greatest artist to ever exist. And it's just an incredible time we live in because his inspirations from Akira, the first scene, the nuclear explosion on the city. People are saying that's what it's based off, and he has used Akira with a lot of his past videos and just art in general. But of course, with the things he's been doing in architecture, like inspiration from Tado Ando, working with him, he's called him the best architect to exist. And we can see his inspiration from Tado Ando with light, with the structures, with concrete, stone, working with earth, the element of earth. And Ye's really huge on that too, in the way he thinks about a primitive futurism that we're going to inhabit. His inspiration from James Turrell, you know, the best to ever do it with light. His light exhibitions, his overall integration of light, space, and sky. Of course, once again, there with the four elements. Star Wars, even, like just whatever you want to add to it, it's incredible. Like the landscapes in Star Wars, it reflects so much of what we saw on stage. And it's so beautiful that so many people came together through the live stream right before it got taken down, almost hit 1 million views right after the concert finished. So just everybody tapping into this and him being able to create that hourglass, at least he gave us that, to stop time in this moment and to just, you know, be a reminder of we are God's children here on earth, and which way are we going to go? Which way are we going to choose to advance as one collective? Because the power is within us as people. It's just so powerful. And Terence McKenna says the task of the artist is to save the soul of mankind. Anything less is a dithering while Rome burns. And it's all about the purification of the soul, of course, but it's also about elevating humanity to get to a higher place for our kids, for the kids. And I just see him doing that more than anybody else. So, we could get into more of my juicier thoughts about how I feel like this is just the beginning for Ye, despite everything he's done. And, this is the winning team. So wait till you get in on it. It's a huge party and you're invited. This is the only way that it has to go. if and it's inevitable, really. Things are put here by design, uh, and I feel like if you're someone who's still skeptical or doubting the greatness, just hang tight. We're not in a rush. We're gonna send it up. We'll go a million miles, and we will walk slowly into this inevitable future that is protopic, like slowly creating the utopia and moving into this primitive futurism where we are restoring our humanity as people through community, through recognizing that beauty exists everywhere, and God is everywhere. Like there's so much in this concert where, and like even something like this where we see the sacred geometry, the golden ratio in the lights, the pyramids shall rise. There's so much of that in this concert. There's, not even to mention the people he brought out in Lauryn Hill history making, of course. The Marleys came out to play. Um, yeah, it's an incredible sight to see. And I feel like after people are involved in such a profound, meaning making experience, the next day could feel empty. So there's like this separation anxiety or something, and my hope and my dream is that we can experience this every day of our lives, this level of beauty, this level of connection. Um, because it is all around us and life is the miracle. We are in the game, and she don't watch sports unless it's from the floor seats, and it's like, okay, sure, but that's why the artist should be, you know put to a higher standard. Like we should respect the artist more, we should encourage creativity and artistry in children. Like so much in our society is so backwards when it comes to that, and I just love that Ye keeps challenging it. Like I get it, he's so gifted at finding what he don't like the most, but that's what it takes, is that kind of mentality to actually make a change. And I'm just you know I want this to be an ongoing dialogue, so I would love everyone's opinions on it. And just let us know. Write down your comments on, how was the concert for you? How did it feel for you? My friend who was there, Seth Roberts, wrote to me about how it felt for him, and this redemptive quality to it that he can't quite explain. And like yes, I feel that. Yeah, so this is he's elevating the palette for humanity, and the style, the cinema, the culture, because we know in a few months, in years, the current artists are going to be emulating this. And I could go ahead and drop some statistics on you. This was the highest grossing concert by any rapper in US history. Not to mention most tickets sold at SoFi. All these different, records being broke. So he just keeps doing it. It's because he has God on his side, and you can't really cancel Ye because he's one with the people. He's able to connect with the people, and people aren't dumb. Like we know greatness when we see it, even if we can't explain it, and we can recognize artists who are correct, orderly, beautiful. Like just the different facets of what makes beauty. You know, um, and we're drawn to that. Uh, and he can continue challenging and doing the things that he's doing in the political side of things as well. And that's also, you know, that's what artists do. They rattle the cages, they push the status quo, they challenge the status quo, the norms. Um, and I feel like so much of what he said and his overall vibe of course it's political. Like so much of this is political, and we're watching from the floor seats. We're here, we're living in this time, and it's a beautiful time. And if there was a council of wise men or sages, you could bet Ye would be on there. You could bet that we need that today. We need that counsel. We need people who think about AI, who have these conversations about which way we're going, not just the corporations and the governments, having this ego PP measuring battle about who's going to acquire this first, that. Like, the people need to come together, and that's why we need an artist who is for the people, and more artists like that to be celebrated and to be given the limelight and not signed away to, different things. So the fact he's independent, like, it's just, this is straight out like a movie, of course, but it's also, dare I say, biblical, because it's not even about the money or resource anymore, like I said earlier. And so he's just put in this position to make a real change. And to me, it's just really interesting that some people still don't see that, or that doubt him or it. But this is, there's no stopping this. This is the birthday party, This is this is a celebration for everybody. Like, this is that feeling we need more of. And this concert is just a testament to that. It is possible to create these moments and these communities and this inspiration, and to start actually obeying and to serve God to our highest, potential. That's what we're meant to do here on earth. And who knows, maybe one day, like Arco, the movie that came out in 2025, will be living in the sky. We'll be sky children. Just like Ye actually has a song called Sky City. So, like all this, literally from that movie, some scenes where it could be straight out of this concert as well. Some of that inspo could be drawn from Marco as well. Some of the stage design layouts. Anyways, I yapped enough. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think. If you like this take on it, leave me a like, subscribe, and yeah, I'd love to get this dialogue going. So leave your thoughts. Take care, you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.